if you're watching the recording of this, go back to your email and make sure that you click into the attendance link, and you make sure that you you sign in that you watched the Zoom. Okay, with no further ado, let's get going. I want to be really transparent with everybody. The expectations for the mentors, remember that it's a paid position. And with that paid position, $2,000, there is an expectation that you work 4 hours in addition to your contract. Those 4 hours would be the mentor Zoom. There will be a mentor Zoom every single month, just like you're attending today, where I have the opportunity to set you up for success while for your work with your mentee. And then the other 3 hours of the month would be actually sitting down and meeting with your mentee. In addition, I ask that you complete a weekly Foursquare, and I'll show you where that is. It's going to be really easy to get to. And I ask that you implement the topics and discussions that are on the mentor calendar. Now, keep in mind that just because it's on my radar and it's on my calendar doesn't mean that it pertains to your specific role. So be sure that you modify the calendar to meet your specific role. And I think I've done a pretty good job this year of matching mentors with mentees at the same site and in the same role to make that transition and to make it smooth for the new to profession teachers. And also, last on the list is to read the First Days of School. If you haven't already, if you haven't gotten your book, it's in the interdistrict mail. It is the book that parallels the work that you're going to be doing with the mentee throughout the year. Okay, now, there's the first year mentor calendar. Feel free to take a screenshot of the dates, or I can send them to you later on. You can take a picture of those are the dates for the first year mentor Zooms for the rest of the year. If you have not attended the initial training, and there are some of you that haven't had a chance yet, know that we'll be during the initial training, I'm going to set up the pedagogy and the rationale behind mentoring, and provide resources for communication skills, and give you some information about what mentoring versus instructional coaching is. And also we'll talk about the mentor standards, mentor language listening, the feedback triangle. But for our purposes today, I just want to remind you that those exist. And what I do plan on doing is sending everybody out the same resources that are going to be provided to the mentors that still need to take the initial training, because I want to make sure that everybody has access to those resources. Some of you have maybe took the training 3 years ago. And so I just want to make sure that everybody has access to the same resources. So know that whether you're taking the initial training or not, you'll get those resources in an email. Okay, the First Days of School is centered around 3 big ideas. And again, the mentoring parallels those 3 big ideas. That effective teachers are good classroom managers. No good instruction happens without management of students. So we'll be spending quite a bit of time on classroom management. August, September, October are really months where my hope is that mentees will have an opportunity to really hone in their classroom management and to ensure that they have solid procedures in place. The second big idea is that effective teachers have positive expectations for students. We'll be spending November and December talking about that. And the rest of the year, January, February, March, April, May, it's all about effective teachers designing lessons for master. We'll really be talking about instruction, instructional strategies, and really getting down to the meat and potatoes of being a teacher, instruction. So that's kind of the plan for the year. All right, so there's the August calendar. We started late this year, so there's only 1 week in August where you're going to meet with your mentee. But if you're looking at the August calendar, know that there's going to be a calendar every single month, and it's an outline of the work you'll be doing with your mentee. It's a checklist with the mentor list on the left-hand side, the mentee list on the right-hand side. And if we look at that mentor list, we know that the majority of you already attended the mentor training. You're attending the mentor Zoom right now, August 22nd. And then there's only 1 week left in August, and that week will be an opportunity for you to sit down and meet with your mentee. Now, keep in mind that what you'll want to establish with your mentee is a routine day of the week and a routine time to meet. Say it's Wednesday right after school or Tuesday during planning period. It's always best practice to have a consistent date and time that you know you're going to meet. We know we all get busy and time gets away from us. So to prioritize that opportunity for you to sit down with your mentee, having a consistent day of the week where you meet at a certain time is going to be best practice. So looking back at the calendar, you'll notice that there's a lot to talk about on August 26th. Relationship building. It's always important to build that relationship with your mentee. You're going to be talking about classroom procedures, district assessment, and completing the Foursquare. If you look on the right-hand side, that's the mentee checklist. Your mentee should have attended new teacher orientation, and they're going to meet with you once a week. And all the mentees either have their first days of school book or it's on their way to them. Okay, so let's really get down into what are you going to talk about on August 26th. And so my recommendation and to set you up for success, there is a conversation starter. How's it going with establishing procedures? We all know as veteran teachers that procedures are a must for the classroom, and that procedures set kids up for success. A procedure is the steps for a student to be successful in this classroom. And we all know that procedures need to be taught all year long. It might be a misconception by your mentee that, they're gonna, school started on Wednesday, they're gonna teach them on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, and then their kids should know the procedures, which is absolutely incorrect. So the reality of the situation is that mentees are going to be teaching procedures all year long. And you'll be surprised. You send the kids home on a Friday. When they come back on Monday, they don't remember anything. They've forgotten how they're supposed to line up. They've forgotten how they're supposed to turn in papers. And that is called procedural drift. And procedural drift is a real thing. So just be sure that your mentee understands that that procedures need to be taught all year long. And if the kids come back and they don't have a clue what they're supposed to do, it's not the teacher. It's just that it's called procedural drift. So so those procedures need to be taught, they need to be rehearsed, and they need to be reinforced all year long.
Michelle, can I jump in
yes,
real quick? I may have missed, but do we have access to these slides and to all the resources that you're showing us?
Yep.
I may have missed it. Sorry.
Yeah, I haven't gotten there yet. There's a new teacher website, and all the resources are there. And then all the resources are going to be on your Foursquares. We haven't gotten there yet. And then on the new teacher website, there's a mentor tab where all of these slides are going to be housed.
Perfect. So thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, because I couldn't expect you to go in there with nothing, right? You need to have the links, of course. Also, talk with your mentee about the difference between procedures and rules. Remembering that procedures are proactive and they're the steps to ensure that a student can be successful. And so they're proactive and they set kids up for success, while rules are more reactive. And rules are typically associated with consequences and rewards and penalties. And a good rule of thumb is to have really strong procedures. The stronger your procedures are, the more likely that the stronger the procedures are, reduce behavior problems. So if students know what their expectations are and they know how they're supposed to do school, they're less likely to act out or do whatever they want in the classroom. So talk with your mentee about the difference between those procedures and those rules. They're both important. Procedures and rules are important, but just the strong, consistent procedures are a way to ensure that kids are successful. And another thing I always like to talk about is that 80% rule. If the idea is if you can get 80% of the kids to follow procedures, then you can focus on the 20% that need special support. I don't believe there's any classroom in the United States where there's an expectation that 100% of kids follow procedures. The idea is that if you get 80% of students to follow procedures, then it frees up the teacher to focus in on those 20% that need extra help. So a conversation starter might be, do you feel like you have 80% of your students following procedures? If not, that's an opening to have a conversation about those procedures and how strong are those procedures. So again, August and September and November really are all about procedures. And I have a feeling that most of our mentors are going to have lots of conversations about those procedures. Another thing that you want to put on your mentee's radar is district assessment. Now, in elementary K through 5, there's the iReady, there's the MClass, and there's the MAP growth, and those assessments are required to be administered at the beginning of the school year, and the window starts August 26th. So if you are in the elementary world, if you have a mentee that is required to administer any of these assessments, then you want to make sure that they know how to do that. And so you want to set your mentee up for success for iReady. For MClass, we'll talk about that in a minute. And MAP growth is typically trained by your I-team coordinator, your interventionist. So now, again, if you are at a site that requires MClass assessment, your mentee will need to attend an MClass DIBELS 8 training. And so what you're looking at in front of you are the dates when they're going to be offered, as well as the link to register. Those dates, I do believe, are during school time. So your mentee will be required to get a sub to attend the training because they won't be able to administer the MClass assessment without this training. It is a required training. Whereas the diagnostic for iReady and the MAPS testing, those are trained in-house, but MClass requires specialized training before they can administer. So these training dates may be important to your mentee. So please put them on the radar if that pertains to your role. Okay, so the new to KPBSD teacher website. I am going to drop this link into the chat box. If you could, go ahead and click into that link. And this actually is brand new. I just built this last year. And what this website houses is all the resources from new certified teacher orientation. So when I click into that tab at the top, you'll see the slide deck from the day. You'll see all these different departments and the resources that were provided. If you haven't been to new teacher orientation lately, I'll tell you, it is a fire hose of information for these brand new teachers, whether they're new to the profession or not. It's a lot of information in one day. We throw it at them in a short period of time. So this particular page on this website is just another exposure to those resources in case they need to go back and refresh their memory or need a website or any information on that was presented during the new teacher orientation. So that's that tab. And then there's the new to KPBSD teacher resources, of which there's a checklist and there's resources. So this checklist is designed to just put on new teachers. Now you're working, the mentors are working with new to profession teachers where they're just learning how to be a teacher. They're just learning how to do their job. They're doing everything for the first time. But this August checklist and these resources are designed for any new teachers in the district. So not only is this page going to be beneficial to your new to profession teacher, but also just to new teachers in the district, because it just puts on their radar different things like the assessment calendar, the pacing guides, the absence management slide deck. How do they get a sub? So there'll be a page for every single month, August, September, all the months of the year with different things that are coming up, as well as resources to support our new teachers, whether they're new to profession or not. Now, I also on this new teacher website, I don't have the tab open right now, but there's a tab that says mentors, and that's where the slide decks from today are going to be housed. There'll be, not only will the monthly slide decks, but also the recordings are going to be housed on this particular website. Honestly, I just haven't had a chance to clean out that tab, but I definitely, now that we're having the Zoom, I'll get the recording and I'll open up that tab so that you know where to find these resources in case you need them. Okay, so that's the new teacher website. Also, this year, we're going to be providing new teacher Zooms because, again, we fire hose these new teachers, whether they're new to the profession or not, with all this information, and there's this expectation that they remember it, and it just isn't enough training, to be completely honest for you. So we're adding on teacher Zooms that are going to be offered very similar to the mentor Zoom set. They're going to be offered 2:45, 3:45, and they're going to be recorded if they want to be watched asynchronously. On Tuesday, September 3rd, it will be our first new teacher Zoom, and we're going to be talking about Power Grade and evaluation. It's always a struggle for our new teachers figuring out how to get report cards printed. It's always a struggle how to create the assignments. How do I do grading? And so I feel like our district just doesn't give enough training. So we're providing these just-in-time training webinars just to support our new teachers in general. But whatever we do for new teachers in general is going to support new to profession as well. So there's the calendar for the year. And know that I'll be reaching out to new teachers with this information. And it's also on the Foursquare too. And I'll show you what that Foursquare looks like. Okay, also, if you have a new to profession teacher that is in the elementary world teaching K through 5, there is going to be a math training for iReady. It'll set them up for success to teach iReady. It's going to be offered a week from today in an AM or a PM session. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drop the links into the chat box. Uh-oh, that was incorrect. There we go. Let me drop those links into the chat box if you just want to have a look at them. It's an RVSP in MobileMind. If you haven't figured it out yet, MobileMind is up and running, and everything happens in MobileMind. So not only will a new teacher wanting to attend this iReady have to RVSP in MobileMind, but actually our mentor trainings, our mentor Zooms are in iReady, are in MobileMind as well. So just an FYI. Okay, so I dropped the links in there if you want to have a look, if it pertains to your role. All right, now the four squares. So here is a sample of the four square. So for every time there is an expectation that you meet with your mentee, there will be a corresponding four square that has the topics and the links and all the things that you want to put on their radar all in one place. Now, so if you're looking at that August 26th Foursquare, there's the conversation starters for the procedures. There's the district assessment links. There's the new teacher website link. There's the iReady training links, and then there's a reminder about the new teacher Zoom coming up on September 3rd. And all of that information is there for you to provide to your mentee in real time when you're actually talking to them. Also, you'll see at the bottom that there's a place for you to keep a record of some of the things that you're talking about with your mentee. What's working in the classroom? What challenges are they having? What are some next steps that that would support your mentee, or what did the mentee feel like their next steps in a certain area might be? This is an opportunity just to record some of the things you're talking about and just have a running record so that you can go back to it and just say, oh, what did we talk about last time? So that maybe you can check in on some of the different challenges or whatever it is. Know that this particular program, mentoring, is funded out of 2A, and anytime anything's funded out of 2A, there's an accountability piece. So there's always some kind of paper that has to support the work that teachers or mentees or whoever did. So this is kind of that accountability piece. Know that I'm not going to be checking up on them. I might do some spot checks, but essentially, this is for you to document your work with your mentee. No, you don't have to go to the new teacher Zooms. Absolutely not. Those are another support. So there was a question in the chat: are we supposed to be on the new teacher Zoom meetings as well as the mentor Zooms? No, those are an opportunity for anybody to join and learn more about the topic for the Zoom. Okay, so where are those four squares? Those four squares are housed in your Google Drive. And so I think right now, what we're going to do is we're going to take some time for you to find your folder that I've shared with you. And then I think it's a good idea to get it started in your Google Drive. And the reason why I think it's a good idea to get it started is because we want to have your folder easy access, because your folder is going to house all the four squares for the entire year. Right now, you only have one four square in that folder, but in September, you're going to have 3 four squares. In October, you're going to have 3 four squares. So we want to have them housed just in one place in that folder with easy access. So I sent everyone an email, and your email should have your name on it with your mentee's initials in parentheses next to it. If you click into that link, it should route you over to your Google Drive. Now, what you're going to want to do is we want to add that to start. So now what you're looking at is my starred folder. So what you're looking for is you're looking for a folder that looks like this. Now, I'm mentoring somebody in Ninilchik this year. So there's my name and there's my mentee's initials. And I've got that, and I've starred that folder. So when I click into start, there's my folder. And whenever I'm ready to meet with my mentee, whenever I'm ready to meet with him, I can click into my folder, and there's my Foursquare sitting right there waiting for me. And I can click into that Foursquare. There's all the links I need. There's all the information. There's all the topics. And I can click into the boxes below, and I can start typing whatever I need to type into those boxes. So I'm going to stop sharing right now. Oh, also, before I stop sharing, I want to show you how to add those folders to your starred tab. So what you're looking at are all the mentors and all the folders. Now, when I go to starred, there's my folder. So we want to get your folder in your starred tab. To do that is you have to click into the link on the email with your name on it. And when you get routed over to Google Drive and you see your folder with these 3 dots, you're going to click into those 3 dots. You're going to go down to the Organize tab, and you're going to add to starred. Mine says remove from starred because I've already added it. But when you click add to starred, then when you click into your starred tab, it's going to show up right there, and then you're all set up for success for the rest of the year. So I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm going to give everyone some time to find their folder and get it started. And I'm right here if you need help. If you're watching this recording, now's a good time to stop the video, go back to the email that I sent you and click into the link, click into your name's link and get your Google folder starred for easy access for the rest of the school year. Jennifer, you have a new folder.
So do I have more than one? Because I have one for Sophia and one for Travis.
Yes, you will have one for
Okay.
Sophia and one for Travis.
Because I think I've only gotten the email
Well,
for the
actually,
one from
yes,
Sophia.
you will. You should have to, you'll have a
I have
new
the one
one,
from last year for Travis.
right? You'll continue using that one.
Okay, that's what I wanted
You'll
to know.
continue using that
Yep.
one for Travis, but then you'll have the new one for Sophia.
Correct. Correct. Perfect.
I had to think about that for a minute. Emily, were you able to get it starred? Perfect. How about you, Jen? Were you able to get it starred? Annie, were you able to get it starred? Awesome. Okay. We got the advanced Google group here. Perfect. All right. So you guys are all set up for success. And just a quick reminder too, while we're talking about your Google folders, like I said, when I click into mine, you know, there's the Foursquare already waiting for me. Know that these folders are going to build over the year, and you'll have like a September folder, you'll have an October folder. We're going to build this folder all throughout the year. Okay. All right. There are the first days of school reading for September. It's a lot of pages, and I want to take some time to just let you know that you're new to profession teacher. You know, they're doing everything for the first time, and it takes and they have a huge learning curve. These are a lot of pages. Encourage your mentee to read the pages. However, it's not a deal breaker if they don't. And every single month, I'm going to summarize the big ideas from the reading. These pages are going to provide lots of strategies. It's a good use of time to read the pages. However, give your mentee grace if they don't read the pages because they have a huge learning curve. They're doing everything for the first time. It takes a long time to do everything for the first time. So those are the pages. And if you could let your mentee know that those are the pages for September, that would be great. And our next mentor Zoom is September 5th.
Michelle, I think you need to either I'm lagging or something, or you're not sharing again.
Oh, I'm not sharing.
Okay.
Thank you. Perfect. There it is. There are the pages for September.
There we go. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. Sorry, Jen. It's better to let your mentee know sooner than later. And I also will put those pages on the September Foursquare at the beginning of the month. I include those pages.
And the book is on its way, you said?
Yes, the
Okay.
book is on the way. And with that, I'm going to open it up to questions. Does anybody have any specific questions about the mentoring role? And how do you feel like you're ready to go into your first meeting with your mentee? Are you feeling good about that? Yes, perfect. Perfect. Awesome. Then I will send you on your way. I'm sure everyone's exhausted. It's the first week of school. Oh my gosh, I'm tired and I'm not with kids. It's hard to get back to work. It's hard to like have to get up and actually be somewhere at a certain time. So yeah. All right. Good night, everyone, and feel free to reach out if you have any questions. And I'll talk with you very soon during the September 5th Mentor Zoom. Good night. So Emily, will you stay on for a minute?
Sure.
So
Are you still recording?
let me stop recording. Thank you.